Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Just trying to sort my blanket out because it's cold, man. But how is everyone? I hope you're all doing well. I'm going to sit down and chat today because we haven't done that in a while. And I just thought, yeah, let's do it. So, I don't know if a lot of you know this, but I am dyslexic. In my opinion, very quite dyslexic. Now, I was diagnosed, when I was diagnosed like dyslexic, is diagnosed even the right word? I was like told I wasn't very dyslexic, but like there's things I do in my life and I'm just like, whoa, like I'm actually like dyslexic. So I am making this video because I have always kind of wanted to make a video on this. I was going to make a video like how I got 2 A's in English being dyslexic. If you want to see a video like that, let me know. If you don't and you don't care, then cool. But I was going to make a video like this and my mum was like, I think you should just make a video and chat about it. So I'm going to, and I did put it on my Instagram story and say like who would want to see it, and like 96 of you said, 96% of like you all said yes. So okay, and I asked for some questions. I didn't get that many, mainly because I think people don't have questions, they kind of just want to know what I have to say. So I've got a few to answer, but I'll talk about me first. So I didn't know I was dyslexic until year 7. So as soon as I moved to secondary school, they basically did a test, which was cool because it meant that I get a laptop in every single exam since then, and 25% extra time in my GCSEs as well, in every subject, like not just English, in maths, in drama, in art. Technically I could have, but I didn't take it. Like everything, I get 25% extra time for everything, which is kind of really handy sometimes. Sometimes I don't even touch it, but yeah, like I used it in my maths because I wanted to go back and like literally redo all my questions to make sure, because I had the time, so why not. But I didn't use it in like my drama or my English. I don't think. Some of my English papers I don't even think I used it. My Spanish papers I definitely did not, because I didn't know what I was doing anyway. But yeah, so I do get an extra time and laptops in an exam. What else is there to know? I have glasses, blue glasses, for like overlays for reading. I don't really use them personally. I don't think they really help me. So I do have them. I use them mainly if I get migraines, and I just put them on because it makes everything a bit darker. Like I read fine without them, or not fine. Here's the thing. I can read in my head and read to myself out loud perfectly fine. I was on holiday and I read like a 300-page book in literally 24 hours, which for me was crazy because I always hated reading. But now I'm really getting into it. If it's something I enjoy reading, I can literally sit and read it for ages, and I don't need my blue glasses. Like that's not a problem. And it isn't, but if I ever am asked to read out loud, like in year 9, when I literally last time I ever read out loud, I think in year 9, I was asked to like read out loud like this passage in class and we were all reading, and I just can't do it. I can't read out loud. I don't know why. I can read it in my head, fine. Read it to myself, fine. I think I build up this thing in my head that I can't read out loud. So when I come to read out loud, I get too anxious and nervous, and that is what makes me stutter or say words wrong. I'm not good at sounding out words. If there's a word I don't know and it's a long word and I try and pronounce it, no, I will say it wrong. Even if it's the most simple word, I will say it wrong. Spelling, I'm an awful speller. Can't spell to save my life. Cannot do it. The thing that gets me the most with dyslexia, and I think it is dyslexia, is I find it really hard to read numbers out loud. Again, I don't know why. I can read, I'm really good at maths. I can, well, not like really good, like I don't do A-level maths, but like I'm good at maths. Maths was always kind of one of my best subjects at school. I messed around in year 9 and whatever, so I was put in a low set for GCSE and then messed around and blah blah blah, but then kind of worked for a bit at the end of GCSE and came out with a 7, which is like an A for anyone who doesn't know, in both of my maths. Do you have 2? Yeah, calculator and... No, you only have 1 maths. What am I talking about? I got a 7 in maths, you have 2 English, which I got a 7 in as well, for anyone curious. What was I talking about? Yeah, so I work at this place where I tutor kids, and they'll call me over to help them with their maths questions. Fair enough. I can do the maths that they need to do. But I'll go to read out the question, say it's like, I don't know, a column multiplication, and I'm like, okay, so 59,864, and they're like, no, it's 68,946. I'm like, what? Like, I don't know, there's something in my brain, like if I have to read a number off the board I just stutter and I say them wrong, and I say it in the wrong order, and I don't know why. It's so weird, like so weird. I don't know why it happens to me, but that is something that I struggle with, and I said that to my mum before and she was like, lol, same, don't worry. But like, because she thinks she's also kind of dyslexic, so's mum, if you didn't want me to say that, but I said it. She won't care. So like, there's things I struggle with. There's something else I struggle with that I was about to say. Oh, I'm 17 and I still don't know my lefts or rights. Like, really badly don't know my lefts or rights. Like, on one of my first driving lessons, we were driving out and we were coming out of one of the first junctions I ever did. Again, the driving was fine. And he was like, okay, we're gonna turn, we were supposed to be turning. This is another thing. Everyone knows this trick, yeah? So you're seeing it wrong. To you, this is a, which one? See, I'm actually so dyslexic. Which one to you is a right L? This one? Yeah, because that's a right L to me too. But why is it a right L to you? Oh, because this is like reflected. Technically this arm should be here, like if we're doing real life. Okay, so like, we were supposed to be turning right. I was like, okay, all fine. I was in the right lane, indicated like I was in the right lane and the right lane, but I meant like correct lane. I was in the right lane, indicating right, all was fine. A van came who technically had right of way, but he was like, no, you go, because he's seen I was obviously in a big learner car. And I was like, cool. He was like, go on then. And I just turned left. I turned left. And I don't know why. And I, like, everything was set up right, indicating right, and I just turned left, and he just went to drive, and he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, what? And that hadn't happened since, until I was with my friends in the car the other day, and they'll vouch for me. And I think I did it twice. She was like, yeah, my house is left. I turned right, and then she was like, right, and I turned left, and like, it was a nightmare. I don't know why I did it. And then Tulsi was in the front, she was like, this way and this way. But yeah, so like, they're kind of things that I struggle with. Reading out loud, spelling, my rights and lefts. Is there anything else? Let's like talk about some common things that people think with dyslexic people but aren't actually like true. Oh, obviously like, people think, the thing that gets me with dyslexia is I always think whenever someone is trying to like correct me or help me, I'm really bad with receiving help for like essay writing, or I don't know, but help I necessarily didn't ask for. So if like someone's just being really nice and like helping me out, I instantly like get a bit offended, because I'm like, I can do it by myself just because I'm dyslexic, like I can do it, and I just immediately assume that they think I'm like stupid and can't do it, which just isn't true, because clearly I can, and they know I can. But it's just like, anyone like would, I don't know, like any normal person would need help with an essay, or could have done this sentence better, or could have wrote this word rather than this word. Like, that's normal for anyone. But there's something in me that I'm just like, I don't know, I just get offended, and I'm like, people think I'm stupid. And I think some people do think dyslexic people are just like stupid and not intelligent, which just isn't true. For one, the thing that gets me is like, who said being good at English or reading or spelling or being good at writing essays is what makes you intelligent? Like, for me, I mean, even though like I was good at English kind of, if I tried, because I didn't always like try my absolute hardest in like some lower years, because I kind of was just like, what, I'm bad at it, and it did just stress me out. That doesn't define if you're intelligent or not. Like, oh, it just annoys me, because like when I was in like school, primary school, I was literally the top of my whole entire school. Valid when I was in year 6, so I wasn't learning the best, but I was literally top of my entire school for like math. Did like a level 6 paper in year 6 and stuff, ended up coming out of like a 6B or a 6A I think, which in like year 6 and stuff. I remember I was in year 2 and I had like a 3C, and I was like, oh my god, I'm a genius. But like, sometimes I'd be like, well, I'm silly because I can't write an essay, and I'm like, yeah, but like, I was good at maths, like look how good I was at maths. I don't know, people think like, just because you can't do, even if you can't do maths or English, if you're not dyslexic, if you're not anything, have no learning difficulties, if it's just you're not good at them, like, it doesn't, like, it literally doesn't matter, like, who cares? yeah, you need a minimum maths and English grade to like do some things or move on to doing this or whatever, but like it literally doesn't matter. Like, because I'm dyslexic, like that's what makes me good at art, and I came out of full marks art, so like I feel like I'm not I'm not doing a very good job. But what I'm basically trying to say is, like, whether you are dyslexic and you're watching this, whether you're not dyslexic and you're watching this, if you're not good at maths or you're not good at English like me, then like it literally doesn't matter. Like, one of my favourite quotes is like when all the different animals are like standing at the bottom of a tree and they're like, don't judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, or don't judge a fish by like how high it can climb a tree or something, which is so true. Because okay, I can't remember what animals they were, like what animal climbs a tree, like a squirrel, I don't know. So like a squirrel could climb a tree in like 2.2 seconds, but a fish can't, obviously. But a squirrel could never get in the water and just swim and like live its entire life like underwater. So like, why should I have to spend all my life doing English and writing essays when I could just be in an art studio like living life, or in a music studio if that's you, or a dance studio, or anything, or even in like a maths classroom or a physics classroom. I don't know, I've gone off a bit of a tangent, but like, I don't know. I always say I'm not a very academic person, but like I am. I just don't really enjoy it. I hate like academic stuff. I don't like it. Like, I can be good at it, but I just don't like it. But yeah, anyway, I don't know, I'm just like kind of talking, and I hope you find this interesting. If you don't, feel free to click off. I don't know what to talk about. We'll go to the questions that I was asked. Something I just think is that people think you're dyslexic, so like you can't read and you can't write essays. And it's just not that. Dyslexia is so much more. Dyslexia allows people to be good at other things, which I don't think people realise. It's like, oh, you're dyslexic, you're not good at English. But it's like, but it makes me more creative, and most dyslexic people are really good at maths, like straight up. Or really good at physics, or like really good at chemistry. Like, I know some dyslexic boys in the school that I used to go to, and they were dyslexic like me. We'd be on the other side of the hall in our exams with our laptops and extra time, and they weren't good at English, but they like smashed science. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like a blessing in disguise. Ah. As I said, I didn't get asked many questions. So someone said, did you ever feel like your school made you feel different because of to everyone else? So someone asked me, did you ever feel like, I can't read. Did you ever feel like your school made you feel different to everyone else because of your dyslexia? I don't want to at my school. They didn't make me feel different. I think I sometimes made myself feel different, but it never really bothered me. I was quite good with it. Things I didn't like, they gave me this big alpha, I don't know what they're called, like an alpha type thing, I can't remember what they're called. Like a big green thing that's literally just like a keyboard with a screen like this big. And I didn't like that, because obviously that was like a big old school like thing, and like everyone was like, what the flipping heck is that? I didn't like that, so I told them straight away, I'm not using this. No, they never made me feel different. I think there was ways that certain teachers and like, I know it's really hard, because my school were good, because obviously they were who diagnosed me, and they got me extra time, and they got me a laptop. But there were definitely teachers that were better than others. Teachers that were actually aware of it. Some teachers weren't aware of it at all. I had one English teacher who to this day I will rave about, and she was very like techie, and she told me all different apps to buy and like things to get, and my parents bought me an iPad, and I had an iPad for school. And then my school, like, you can just use the Chromebooks if you want, because we had Chromebooks in all the plazas. So like, they were good, but some teachers definitely weren't, like highlighting my name in red on the board and being like, you're underachieving, and showing the whole class. And I don't know, I'd be mortified. And I think one time I went in year 9 or year 8 or whenever it was to my English teacher. I can't remember if she wanted to talk to me or if I said I wanted to talk to her, and I just like cried, because she gave us this text, which, I mean, we're in English obviously, and it was like 2 A4 sheets. One of them was double-sided and one of them just had one side on, and she was like, read it, highlight it, and like write this thing about it. And I just, like, my head just like started going crazy. I was like, I can't. I was like, I can't just read this for one, because the amount of words on the page and the amount of pages there are, like, I'm already stressed. Like, I would just look at that page and I'd just be like, oh my god, there's so much on this one page and there's 2 more of them, and you want me to just go through and highlight things and answer this like 8-mark question or whatever it was on it. And my brain was just like, no, and I just couldn't do it, and I got so stressed and I just didn't know what to do. And after that lesson, she like called me, and I can't remember if, like I said, I can't remember if I initiated it or she did, but and I just cried, and I was like, I can't do stuff like that. I can't. I mean, I hate saying I can't. Like, of course I can, but you can't do it with me like that. You need to give it to me the day before. You need to, I don't know, write down key points on post-it notes for me. You need to do something to make this easier for me, because I can't go through this and pick out key points and pick out things. Like, I can't do that. I'm not good at that. That's not the way I learn. Like, you're basically gonna need to help me, because no. And I just cried, and she told my mum. My mum was like, you cried today at school, and I was like, oh, I'm so stressed, I can't read like that. Sorry, I was answering your question. No, my school never made me feel different. My school sometimes weren't the best with it, but they never made me feel different. Like, they were never like, you're weird for it, you're this for it. Like, they very much helped me, and helped me, like I said, with extra time in school and stuff. Someone said, did you get longer GCSEs? Yes, 25% extra time. So like, if the hour was an exam, you see, hello, can't speak. If the exam was an hour, what's 25% of an hour? 15 minutes, I'd get an extra 15 minutes at the end. If the exam was 2 hours, I'd get an extra half an hour at the end. So like, my maths exams, I had 2.5 hours, I think. You know, just, yeah. Someone asked, did I have a laptop? Yeah, I did have a laptop, as I've said. Someone said something which made me kind of think, oh. They said, how can we try and understand? As they said, someone they know is dyslexic, and they just forget until they do something like dyslexic, like slip up or read something wrong or spell something wrong. And it just got to me, because I was like, what do you mean, how can we understand? Do you mean, what can you do to help? Do you mean, should you talk about it? Should you not? Like, I don't wake up every morning like, oh, I'm dyslexic. Like, I forget until someone does something and I'm like, oh no, I'm dyslexic, like, can't do it like that. Or like, we'll be doing something at work and I don't know, we'll need to read this passage, or I won't know how to spell a word, or a child will ask me what a word means or how to spell a word, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. And to me that's just normal. Like, I'm not good at spelling, like, I don't know. But then I forget and someone's like, what? And I'm like, oh, I'm very much dyslexic. So how can you understand? I don't think there is much to understand. Just like knowing things, that it's not just we can't read. We'll slip up on things, we'll read things very wrong. Might not be the most comfortable, like reading out a text to you or something, or I don't know. Because I want to answer this question, because like, I want to help, but I don't know what you mean, how can we understand? Honestly, if you're close with the person, they won't mind slipping up, and they won't mind doing this, and they won't mind having this conversation with you. I know I don't care talking about it. Like, one time I put on my blue glasses when I first got them, and this boy in my class was like, why do you have blue glasses? And I was like, so I can read. And he was just like, oh, fair. He literally didn't know what to say. He was expecting me to make, I don't know, get embarrassed or laugh or say something, and I was literally just turned around to me, I was like, so that I can read? And he was like, oh. And I was like, so like, I know I don't mind, and I wish I could help. How can we understand? But just like, if it's something they're not comfortable with, like me, and it's something they don't like, just being there for them, like reminding them that everybody slips up, everybody kind of has the things they're not good at, which is good. Like, reminding them that like, just because you might be good at English doesn't mean you're better than them, because they might be so good at maths or so good at music because of being dyslexic, and you could never like pick up a guitar, or you could never like do a maths question. I think a lot of dyslexic people think that like, I'm dyslexic so I can't do anything, which just isn't true. Someone asked me what did I get in my GCSEs. I got an A star in art, 5 A's in English, maths, science and RE, and 3 B's in drama, statistics, core science, and a C in Spanish because I can speak Spanish. I was expecting to get a U. In my units I got U, and the C. Somehow that rounded off to a C, but I'm not complaining, I got a C. So yeah, someone asked what is like the hardest thing I find about being dyslexic. I've said that. So things like lefts and rights, reading out loud, spelling. I really am bad at spelling, always have been, and I think I might always will be because I honestly am tragic at it. But yeah, the other questions are kind of things I've just answered. So I don't know if you have any questions about this or any topics you want me to do, like how I organise, how I plan, how I write essays, how I did well in my English GCSEs or anything, like let me know. But I kind of wanted to just make a chatty video and see if anyone is interested. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Tell me if you want me to do any more, tell me what topics. Make sure you subscribe and click the little bell button. Follow me on all my social medias. My Instagram and Snapchat are both meganshortxx, and Twitter is the same with an extra X because meganshortxx was taken. So without further ado, bye. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time and I hope you have a great day. Bye.